We teach you how to take a trombone now, put it together, take it apart, put it back up in the case.
Okay.
So the first step we want to do is see the latches?
Yes.
You always want them facing up and the flat side on the bottom. The reason why is because most of the parts are on the bottom of the flat side of the case.
Okay.
And if I open it, if I lay down this side, which is not the fat side, just like the skinny side. If I do that, then all the parts will come out and possibly get destroyed.
Ooh, well,
so that's why you always want the latches facing up and the flat side always down, while the skinny side facing up.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, open up all three latches. And as you can see, is take it apart too. So there are two parts. So there are 4 parts to it in total for the instrument. So this is a slide. So this right here is the outer slide. If I move this is the inner slide. Now this is very, very fragile. It's like,
okay.
so it can get destroyed real easily.
Kind of like, yeah.
Like how you can crumble up paper easily. This is sort of like paper where it can get crumbled if you're not very careful. Next up is the bell.
Okay.
The trigger.
Okay.
This is called a trigger trombone, and meaning you can play 2 notes in 2 different positions as long as you're pressing on the trigger. These 2 up here are the tuning slides. This is the main tune slide, and this is the trigger tuning slide.
Okay. So one's just for the trigger.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you want to put the trombone together, you always want to make sure that the slide is always locked, so that way it doesn't fall off.
Okay.
So next I'm going to just on to here. You want to make sure that the hook right here is always facing this way, sort of like facing towards you. Turn this, tighten this up. Not too tight, so that way you can try to make sure that this is sort of at an L. So like, the trigger is like an L?
Yeah.
Always make sure, think of it as like that, so like how this is supposed to be like an L.
Yeah, you want to make sure
It's sort of parallel with this, sort of.
Yeah, parallel with that, perpendicular with the trigger. Okay.
And then final part is the mouthpiece. And people contend, now there are some people that put it on the slide before tie the chances these together, and there are some people that just like put this on last where it's easier. So I was like, you don't want to tighten this too tight, because if you do, you're
gonna get stuck.
You're gonna get stuck. You're gonna have a hard time getting out. So you just want to make it kind of like so you just turn a little bit.
Okay.
And then now you have trombone ready. So the next part is, so I'm gonna use this bell. I'm gonna teach you how to hold it.
Okay.
So you're gonna have your left hand like this, like a gun.
Like a gun.
3 fingers between these 2 bars.
Between those 2.
Finger wraps around, but underneath the mouthpiece on here. And on the trigger trombone, the thumb has to go on here. And then next up is putting you will need 3 fingers to your right hand, so index, middle, and thumb right here. We'll open this up, and then you have it ready. Now if you want to hold it, if you want to hold the trombone without using the right hand, what you do is put your pinky down here, let go. Now the only time you do that is if it's unlocked for the slide.
Okay.
I still tell you to use the thumb, so that way the slide doesn't fall off.
Okay.
And then if you want to don't do that, you just put it back in place. Some people like to put their instrument here on the lap.
Okay.
Or just have it down here. But as long as this is locked, you don't need to use the pinky for this.
And when it's not locked, you use the
pinky when it's unlocked.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is take this apart.
Ooh, this is a test now.
And see if you can do it. Now I'm gonna put which side should be laying down on.
The fat side.
And why is that?
Because all the parts are pretty much in the fat side, and if you put it on the skinny side down, they're gonna fall out and get damaged.
That's correct. So we're gonna lay it down the fat side.
We're gonna lay it down on the fat side, and then all 3
latches.
And you have the bell.
Yes. So you're gonna.
It's a little scary.
Yeah. There's no proper way to pull it out.
Okay.
Usually.
And then you have the slide, the inner slide, and
the outside, but we just mostly just call it slide. So basically.
That, and the inner slide is very fragile.
Yes.
So.
Put that on. And make sure sort of perpendicular or parallel with that. So sort of like almost like a perfect capo
L.
L.
Okay. So we have that.
And make sure you want that. You want to make sure that's not tying too tight, because if you try tying a little bit more, you might break it. Or
Yeah,
so,
it's okay.
because if you try more, then you'll break it, and it'll be hard for you to be attached to slide in the bell.
Okay.
And how are you gonna?
Is that the
So left hand, how are you gonna hold it?
a gun?
Gun. So the 3 fingers, where do they have to go? On the bone.
3 go here. 1 goes on the trigger, and 1 goes around.
That's right.
Okay. And I'm gonna grab the mouthpiece.
So I want you to pick the. So I want you to
I
pick.
want to tighten it too much.
Okay.
And then the side's locked.
That's correct. Slide is locked.
And when it's unlocked, your pinky. Yeah, I'm gonna
Pick
lock that.
2 fingers to be. So these 3. Right. And And what are you going to now? There you go. You set it together. Now I'm going to teach you how to be on your shoulder.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So, how you're gonna have on your shoulder is, you know how it's the W's are.
Yeah.
Think of this as a W or a V.
Okay.
So like that, and then and you're gonna have it right here, and then to move the slide, it's all in the wrist and sort of arm. But at first and third, it's in there all the wrist. So I'm gonna teach you all positions. So this will be first position.
First.
Second.
Second.
So second will be between the bell and where it should be.
Okay.
Third will be sort of not like fingers not be lined up, but a little bit before it.
Okay.
Fourth, so you have this part sort of a little bit past the bell. Fifth, sixth, seventh is all the way out, but you do not want to see that something be right about here.
Okay.
So how straight that arm is. You don't. If you go all the way here, then it's like won't sound. So you want the south position. See this tiny line. You will want this lined up that line on the inner slide, and that'll be sound position.
Okay.
Now there are 2 extra positions. You play 2 certain notes,
With the trigger.
but we won't. What about next one? So, well, if I push down this trigger, and I want to play a certain note in 6th position, the note in 6th position with the trigger down will be up in first.
Okay.
Now, 2nd position, if I want to play a note that's in 7th position, trigger down, it'll be up in 2nd.
Okay. So a trigger trombone makes it a lot easier.
Makes it a lot easier because they're this off to you. So
Let's remember how to do this. Let's not.
just do this out like that way.
Make a gun. Oh wow, that was much easier that time.
Yeah. And then you have to sit on your shoulder. So try not to tense up. Just try so stay relaxed. Have your shoulders sort of like this. So just like that. Then mouthpiece can be even with your mouth.
Okay.
Let me turn this back a little bit. And there you go. Now you know how to hold the trombone.
Okay, so first position.
All the way first. First position.
Okay.
Second.
Second position.
Third.
Not quite lined up, but almost.
Yep. Fourth.
Fourth position.
Up a little bit. Up a little bit. Right there. So that's
Okay.
fourth. Fifth. Up a little bit more. Up a little more. There we go. Fifth. Sixth. Then 7th.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or
And 6th position trigger first, correct?
Okay.
And 7th position with the trigger.
the second.
That's correct. That's all the 7. That's all the slide positions.
I
Yeah.
feel like if I was a bit
So obviously you know what the trigger is.
Trigger.
The tuning size. You wondering what is this?
spit.
Yeah. This is a spit valve. And reason why we have that most brass players usually have spit valve because spits can get up in here while we're playing to here.
Yeah.
And then I just remember telling you then how you when you're playing you hear that
The bubbles.
bubbles. That's when you know okay I need now to empty out the spit. That way it doesn't affect my playing and the notes will sound correct instead of people hearing the weird bubbly water spit you
Yeah.
don't hear. So now you know how to take it out. You know how to put it together. You know how to hold it, where all the slide positions are.
When putting it away, which side? The trigger does not go down, right?
No.
Okay.
So the trigger's sort of kind of like facing up.
Okay. I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to teach you is how to take apart the trombone and put it up.
Okay.
So first thing people like to always do, which is the easy part,
The mouthpiece.
So, mouthpiece, because it's always easy. And usually cases have pockets for the mouthpiece to go in to be separated from everything.
Must be nice.
So the next part is, so people can either put it in slide first or the bell in first. It doesn't matter how you want to do it. So the bell, how you want it, is spit valve facing up.
Spit valve up for the slide.
Slide, and then you put it in like that. And then this.
Trigger good. Oh,
So there's a trigger. So this one kind of goes down.
so the trigger does.
And
face
so
down.
the trigger does face down. Because I try to face it up, then I won't be able to do it properly.
Okay.
So.
Okay, no, that makes sense. And you guys have more space.
And then honestly, so always close it with the flat side of the case facing down.
Okay.
Then you have. And that's how you put up a trombone.
Oh.
So now I'm gonna open this up. And I'm gonna put it together.
And then I'm gonna take it apart.
And you're gonna take it apart, put it up. And then once you do that, then the next time you're going to take it out, put it together, put it up in playing position, keep the slide in first, and then once you do that, you then take it apart, put everything back up in the case, close the case, and that's how you put it together, and that's why you know how to do it.
Okay.
So now, I'll hold this to you.
So.
So first thing, so now you're going to take it apart.
Okay, we're taking it apart. So we're going to take the mouthpiece and there's a little thing. There we go. Put it in a little special pocket.
That's right.
Nice and nice. And then slide locked. Ooh. I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's easier to do that instead of putting it in the case. Because if you try to do that, then you're going to struggle a lot more. So it's easy. So what you're going to do is, so you're going to turn this, no, other way. So
Other way.
there are some people, so you try to turn it that way, you might actually also.
Okay,
So-
so you turn it the other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can either put that one in first or the slide.
I'm gonna put that one in first because I'm left-handed.
Okay,
It's closer. And then spit valve up.
that's right.
And
And make
then-
sure it's in all the way.
It's in.
Just spit slide, because if you don't put it in all the way, so push. Some cases,
And then close the latches. And boom. And now we're gonna open it.
so now we're going
Fat side down.
fat side down.
We're gonna open each latch. And
Open it up and
take the bell. We're gonna take the bell.
so you have the bell.
And then
If you want to hold on to a better position, sometimes people do it like this, so that way you have a better grip. So like right
okay.
here,
So right there.
do you realize how like much better you hold? You
Yeah,
have
it
it,
is.
a little more balance. It is.
Okay. Is it okay to like set it on the ground when tightening?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we usually do.
Okay.
Like most of the trombone players usually do that. Sort of set the slide on the ground and then tighten it up because it's a little easier for us to try to do it in the air because it can be a little tricky.
Okay.
It's the mouthpiece. Make sure that the slide is parallel.
Yes.
Okay. So have your right elbow out a little bit. Your right elbow.
Oh, right elbow.
So kind of like this. You know how sometimes they have you go like this. So just sort of like that.
So like the box.
So how you see now you're going to take it apart and put it up in the case.
So we are going to take mouthpiece first. Put it in the case.
Make sure the slide is always locked.
It is locked.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna
untighten it with my foot. And you're gonna other direction.
That's right, because you don't want to hit the
You
bell.
don't want to hit the bell.
So
I might not have unlocked it all the way.
yeah.
There we go.
So put that in.
Put that side in first. Trigger down. Okay. And spit valve up. And you're gonna make sure it's in all the way. It is.
And close that.
Close it.